Welcome back to the channel. This video I've got another bumper repair, and this is pretty simple. This is an easy one for anybody to do. So let me show you what I'm going to be working on today. Alright, usually the most common thing you're going to find on every front bumper cover is a bunch of stone chips and maybe some little scrapes and scratches. So this is actually on the side panel here. I put a bunch of little chips in here. These are really easy to fix, and I've got a couple scratches up here. Let's get started on this. First thing I want to do is clean this up. So I'm just going to use a little bit of rubbing alcohol. I want to make sure everything is clean out of the scratches and these chips. All right, that should take care of any contaminants that could be in there. The next step, I'm going to go over this area and all these chips with 220 on a finish sander. My camera lost a file, but before I took the finish sander over this, I took a piece of 120 and just sanded inside of here. I want to clean up that scratch, actually both of them. You might not get it 100% in there, but it helps. To fill these scratches and chips, I'm just using body filler. Small stuff like this, you really don't need to use the two-part bumper repair material. The body filler sticks good in here. I've been repairing the bumper covers this way for years, and it's always worked great for me. I want to get some of the filler forced into there. Don't put too much on yet. You can see how it fills that in. And then we'll just put a skim coat over the top, smooth everything out. The reason you want to force that first layer in there is to get any air bubbles out. If you would just try and put a heavy coat over the whole thing, those little divots will trap air in there. It's not going to feel right. They're always going to show up. So you get it forced down into there and then come over and just put a skim coat over it. Make sure we've got enough coverage. And once it's sanded, it'll come out real nice. Okay, I think it's all covered good. I'll let this dry. I'll get back on it with the finish sander and we'll see how it looks. All right, this is dried up enough, and I'm still using 220 on my finish sander. You don't want to use anything coarser than 220. You want to take this filler down nice and even. Any sandpaper that's a little coarser than 220 is going to undercut, especially on the scratches up here. It'll start taking that filler out of the scratch and it'll show up a little bit. So you just want to float it down nice and slow, take it easy, and this stuff will kind of disappear. And you want to stop when there's just a very faint, still a shadow of some filler around that scratch. So let's get started on this. All right, that come out real good. You can't feel anything. Even if you take your fingernail across it, you can't feel that thing. That's why it's important. Use a 220 or finer sandpaper and just keep floating this down. Let's see what those chips look like. All right, they look good too. Everything is filled in. Very little filler in all of these. So it's not going to chip out. Once it gets primed and painted, it's a good repair. It feels good. You can't feel any of those. You know, you get a front bumper cover that's just blasted full of stone chips. So that's a real good way to fill all those chips in. It's quick, it's easy to do, and it holds up just fine. Okay, that'll wrap up this one. So if you like this video, well, you know what to do. Thanks for watching.